right, watch to the end. I promise this video is not clickbait. I want to present to you two different men's opinion on the question of religion versus spirituality. You know, sometimes you hear today like, well, I'm not religious, I'm spiritual. And it's kind of like saying, well, I'm not really sure about some of the big questions. I do believe in a higher power, but maybe religion has a bit of a bad connotation, feel hemmed in, and that if I see myself as a spiritual person, that I have maybe a little bit more flexibility, a little bit more air under the collar. So what do you think about that question? Are you religious? Are you spiritual? The first perspective is from Iron Mike Tyson, former heavyweight boxing champion of the world. Here we go.
What about spirituality, Mike? There's spirituality, your connection with God, without being in any one of these religions.
I don't know spirituality, but spirituality comes from religion pretty much.
It doesn't have to.
You know?
You know?
So you dictating your own show then. All these rules are my rules now, so I'm spirituality, so I'm pretty much I'm a prophet or else I'm God. Since I'm going to a spiritual perspective, and it's my spiritual perspective, why don't I write a few lines in the book or something? Matter of fact, why don't I make up my own book?
I was listening to this interview passively, and when I heard this, I had to go back and rewatch because I couldn't believe how the clarity of Mike. I mean, it's just like he's clearly spent some time thinking about the question. And it's true. It's kind of like, are we in a a la carte, cafeteria checkout line? I'll take a little bit of this, a dash of that. He follows the argument to its logical conclusion. If I'm making the rules, why don't I write my own book? I want to read the second perspective from a book I'm reading, and it's from Father Thomas Merton, The New Seeds of Contemplation. Father Merton writes about dogma in one of his chapters, and he says, "The notion of dogma terrifies men who do not understand the church. They cannot conceive that a religious doctrine may be clothed in a clear, definite, and authoritative statement without at once becoming static, rigid, and inert, and losing all its vitality. In their frantic anxiety to escape from any such conception, they take refuge in a system of beliefs that is vague and fluid, a system in which truths pass like mists and waver and vary like shadows. They make their own personal selection of ghosts in this pale, indefinite twilight of the mind. They take good care never to bring these abstractions out into the full brightness of the sun, for fear of a full view of their unsubstantiality." It's amazing to me, right? We have a former heavyweight boxing champion of the world and a Catholic monk, both coming to the same conclusion. So what do you think? Are you spiritual or are you religious?